just a while, we dared to swim alone. Dark water left your sinking heart to drown. I know it's much too late to try, you're never coming home. When the tide came in, you left without a sound. We don't say what we should say, we get lost beyond the end.
Just a little stop, just started the front end suspension, complete rebuild. Just started pulling things apart and just check out how bad pretty much everything is. There's the lower control arm ball joint, completely shagged. CV boot, outer CV boot split, inner CV boot really split, whole thing's falling apart. Got a new CV shaft, left and right front. The lower control arm forward, front, ball joint and boot pretty split and shagged as well.
Who speaks so quietly? I can almost hear you say, don't cry for me. We don't say what we should say, we get lost beyond the answer, we find loneliness, we pretend, but in the end, we get lost beyond the answer, we find loneliness. I never thought you hoped you, I never thought that you might need an anchor.
Quick pit stop on the way. I've now removed most of the right hand side front suspension components. Pretty much every ball joint and bush is knackered. So taking my time, really taking my time. So tomorrow I'll repeat the same on the other side, pull it all out, and then it will be time to put in all the new. The first thing I'll do is clean everything and start replacing whatever new arms I've got. Otherwise, pressing out the old bushes, pushing the new, pressing out old ball joints, putting in new, and then reassembling. Oh yeah, I've got to pull the rest of that CV shaft out. The boot, as you can see, is completely split, and the guts were completely, or have completely spilled everywhere. So I'll have to pull that out. Otherwise, I think that's about it on this side. Another quick update. I think I've now broken the back of the front suspension rebuild of the Territory. I've removed all the parts, including the CV drive shafts, the seals, diff seals. The left hand side wasn't so bad, it's fairly easy to access, but the right hand was a real bugger to get out, as the drive shaft is a little bit different on the driver's side. It has a male sort of shaft that remains inside the housing into the diff, and with all the bits and pieces around, it was very hard to get access and leverage to remove the seal. To get the seal removal tool in, I had to get behind here, but then I had no room to leverage If I tried to get in from here, I couldn't get it behind the seal, but eventually I was able to go in from behind and using a block of wood get some leverage, but it took me a long time to get to that point. But anyway, finally got there. I've now started to put things back together. I've replaced the tie rod and boot, which was cracked, split, and about to install the rest. I've assembled the struts and springs. There's the new CV shafts. The boots were split on the old ones. They were pretty haddock. I've got new lower control arms. The ball joints were haddock. I went for the easy option. It wasn't too much more to get the full piece. Use the existing front lower control arms. Put in new bushes. New sway bar bushes. Upper control arms. Replace those bushes. They were pretty much had it. Well, a couple were okay, but the ball joints on the upper control arms were had it. So I've replaced both of those. New link pins, what they call them. The ball joints on those were pretty shot. Basically the original full territory front suspension, not the best design, a lot of stresses, and basically it all hangs off the bottom ball joints, so they don't tend to last very long, I believe, and that's certainly, well, they've lasted a long time, but they've been shot for quite a while, so the replacement was long overdue anyway. Particularly these are the ones that basically the weight of the front hangs off these ball joints here. So anyway, they're all new. So yeah, these ones as well in the knuckles. They're the front lower control arm ball joints, caster arm, I think they call them as well. So I pressed those out and pushed the new ones in. The bearings seem okay, there's no movement, and it's hard to really tell without the full weight on it, but they feel okay, so I'm not going to bother replacing those. But I've replaced just about everything else. Anyway, so hopefully the rest is easy. I'll just put everything back together again and see how we go.
And to find just one other seems to be the goal of everyone. From the search to the hurt, I believed I could take you all. We would drink, we would dance, and you would watch me whenever you walk. And can you give me everything, everything, everything? 'Cause I can't give you anything. And if you
Well, I finally finished the rebuild of the front suspension on the Ford Territory. Wasn't too bad. Took me a good couple of weeks of a couple of hours after work every other night, and a couple of solid weekend days. I am a slow DIYer, so and first time, so I took my time. A few filly bits, but otherwise it wasn't too bad. Fitting it all back together was relatively straightforward and not as hard as I thought. you sort of have to slip all those pieces in the lower control arms and the drive shaft of the axle into the knuckle sort of together. I didn't have to do much banging and pushing and leveraging to get everything back, so that was a welcome relief. I had to take the other spring out because I didn't realise that, well, I thought that they were exactly the same, but the top bearing plate had to be moved while leaving the seat underneath in the same location, so that when I fixed it to the tower, it would be in the spring would be in the right place. And the other side, it was about an inch out, so there was a gap down the bottom at the end of the spring, between the spring and the end of the strut. And I rang Petters for some advice, and they said, yeah, it's not good, it'll move around otherwise, so you've got to take it apart and rotate the top bearing plate till it's in the right spot, so I had to do that. But anyway, it's done. The spring compressors that I got off eBay, pretty scary things. They bent and creaked and left big gouges in the king springs, so I had to get some touch-up paint and touch them up. You can't really see them in there, so I'm not worried about the aesthetics, but they say yeah, any exposure will result in rust pretty quickly, I think, so it's more for protection. So I got some golden yellow rust protectant paint, which is nigh on identical in colour, just to touch up the scratches. Otherwise, that's it. I've just got to put the wheels on, take it for a spin, and then book it in for a wheel alignment tomorrow, and that's it.